Welcome back. My favorite part of the show where we answer your questions. If you have an email question for us, written works, send me that email, traditional email in written form. Or if you'd like to send us a video, we've just announced that we're able to do that. Do that landscape on your phone, send us your video, and maybe instead of me reading your words, you'll be speaking your words on the monitor behind me. That'd be great fun. Not sure, gentleman, lady, I'm not sure. My dad is 86 and heard you and your guest talking about reverse mortgages on your radio show and wondered if this is something that would help him. He sold his house in New York and moved here with us about a month ago. He has almost $500,000 in proceeds from his house and the auction of his furniture. Dad's health is okay, but not great. He's trying to decide if he wants to rent or buy a home. We're pretty sure he'd be better off keeping his money in the bank and renting. He thought he heard about that he could buy a house and not have to pay back the mortgage. Sounds too good to be true. Can you help us sort this out for him? First of all, God bless your father. 86 years old, fantastic. At his age, uprooting and making moves and fresh start, that's fantastic. It's also daunting and a bit challenging. I'm certain that part of what's going through your dad's mind is his independence. So whether it's renting a place or buying a place, that's likely the very best thing for him to do, is to have his own home, his own living space, his own independence. Likely a very good thing. So reverse mortgages. Indeed, reverse mortgages, something that you've heard me talk about on air a number of times over the years. Reverse mortgages are a tool that can be used to purchase a home. However, just to be clear and to use some numbers as a demonstration, if he were looking at a home that's worth, say, $300,000, he could borrow about half of that from a reverse mortgage. So if he has a home in mind that's $300,000, he could borrow $150,000 on a reverse mortgage. That, in essence, covers half of the payment. And then, of course, his down payment would be $150,000 that he would take from the proceeds from the sale of his home in New York. So where would that put us? He would be in a home he owns. He would have a $150,000 mortgage that he's absolutely correct. He does not have to repay until he leaves the home. He will leave the home at some point, either voluntarily, he sells it, moves elsewhere, involuntarily, he needs to be cared for, or the ultimate involuntarily, he passes away and joins his maker. So his assumption about mortgage payments is absolutely correct. Sadly, that may not be exactly what he had in mind. He may have thought he could buy it for the full amount, $300,000, and not pay a mortgage. That's not available through reverse mortgage. And owning his home, of course, will carry with it the expenses. He'll have to cover the maintenance, he'll have to cover insurance, he'll have to cover real estate taxes. And as long as he is comfortable, as long as you have planned out his cash flow, that you are confident, that he is confident that he can meet those obligations, then absolutely, this absolutely could work. Now, it's very important that either you and he, or he and his financial advisor, go through his cash flow needs, his budget, as carefully as they possibly can. Renting, in many ways, especially for someone who's of a generation that your dad is, seems like wasted money. Seems like money out the window that you get nothing back from. And in some cases, that is true. In your dad's case, renting may be a bit more freedom. It may be, I don't worry about maintenance. I don't worry about paying separate real estate taxes. I don't worry about all those kinds of things that homeowners worry about. And if he wishes to travel, if he wishes to spend time away from his home, his apartment, he locks the door and walks away, and his home is likely very, very secure and very, very safe. Gives him ultimately much more freedom. Which of these he decides to choose will be driven by a number of factors. Number one is personal instincts, what fills his peace of mind needs and his quality of life needs the best. Number two, cash flow, making sure that we understand very carefully how much money he has available, Social Security, pensions, etc., and the resources that he has from his home, $500,000 or so, which if he rents, he's going to have basically the entire $500,000 at his behest. And then number three, finding an appropriate rental. In some areas, particularly in eastern Pennsylvania, there are lots of great apartment rentals, and in some areas there are virtually none. So be very, very careful as you kind of explore this. Take your dad down that path of exploration, and if at all possible, have him meet with a financial advisor that can help guide him to the actual details, dollars and cents. I hope I helped a little bit. Send us your emails as well. We got to take our last break of the show. Don't go anywhere. You're on More Than Money.
Seems I've got to have